now that we have some decent data to play around with, let's change the properties section on our home page. So if we scroll down a little bit, we'll see our properties section right here, and all of this information, it's all hard-coded data. It came part of the theme that we downloaded, so this isn't by any means related to our data at all. So let's fix that. So what we'll first want to do is go into our index.html.erb file here, and let's find where that's at right here. So I'm thinking this is where it's at because of this 379, and there's three of them, 3 items. Let's get rid of 2 of them because we want to keep one of them so that we can use it as our template, but we can get rid of the other 2. So we do a refresh here. Good, we only get 1. So what we'll want to do is at restaurants, grab the last 3 and do restaurant. And here we'll move it over. And before we even begin with this, we need to define this at restaurants variable. So if we go into our restaurant controller, move this down, we need to say at restaurants equals restaurant.all for now. So this is where we're defining that variable. So it knows to go grab all of the restaurants and find the last 3. And so in our image tag here, we can say link to image tag. So similar to what we did on the show page, placehold it 370 by 210. And it's going to go to the restaurant. We'll leave the for sale there for now, but this we can change to the, and actually do we want this to be a link? Let's link it, link to restaurant.name. It goes out to the restaurant. Instead of beds, we'll say location. Get rid of the for, say restaurant.city, comma, restaurant.state. And we'll put category here, so we'll get rid of the 2, restaurant.category.name. Save it. Now if we go to our application, do a refresh, there you go. We have the last 3 restaurants that were created. So if we click on this, it'll take us to the show page of these restaurants. And now let's do the same for these other ones right here. So if we go down below, this is where it's at right here. So let's get rid of 2 of them again. Got rid of 2 of them. Double check that it worked. All right. And in our thumbnails right here, same deal. This one's going to be slightly different. So we want to grab all the restaurants. But what we want to do is order it first by ID. So it orders it all by ID. Reverse order it so that it's backwards. Only grab the last 3 and offset it by 3. Each do restaurant. And I'll explain a little bit more about what this means. Go down here. So what we want to do is, in my case, is I want these 3 items here and the next 3 to be the latest, in total, the latest 6 restaurants that were created. And so in order to do that, the top part here, well, it's easy, right? Grab the last 3. But this bottom part here, we need to grab the last, instead of the last, the first, second, and third to last, we need to grab the 4th, 5th, and 6th to last. So what this is doing is it's ordering it by ID, reverse order it, so spin it backwards, so it's descending, if you think about it that way, and limit it by 3. So only grab the last 3 one, or you only want 3 restaurants here, but offset it by 3. So that means don't grab the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd from last, grab the 4th, 5th, and 6th from last. And so if we do a refresh, go here, oh, we haven't changed this yet. We need to change this information right here. Restaurant name is a link. Link to restaurant.name goes up to the restaurant, and actually we can just copy this information. So we'll just grab all the UL, paste it. There you go. Now if we do a refresh, it should give us the correct information. There you go. So it grabbed the 4th, 5th, and 6th from last, so that everything that we see here, it's the latest 6 restaurants that were created. So now if we click here, we need to change the image to make it a link. You can just go up top, copy, paste it over the image tag below. Now do a refresh, and that should work. So now if we go over here and click on it, there you go. It takes us to the restaurant that we want. If we click on the name, it'll take us there as well. So there you have it. We cleaned up our properties section here, and actually we don't want to call it properties. Let's call it restaurants. Do a refresh. It's restaurant, and let's make this view all button functional here as well. There's a link here. Let's find view all, and we'll leave it there for now, but let's do a link to view all. And what do we want it to view all to? We'll make it a search. So here's what we can do. Say if params category is blank at restaurants equals restaurant.all, else give us what was searched. So this is basically saying that if this information here is blank, then just show us all restaurants. And the reason I chose category is because here up top there's always going to be a category that you have to select. Whereas at the bottom here, if we do a straight link to it, it's not going to have anything. It's not going to have a category. It's not going to have the location or the search bar up top here. It's not going to have any of that. And so it's truly going to be a blank parameter or a blank search. So in that case, we want to show all the restaurants. Otherwise, if you're searching through it up top here, it'll go by the search params. So what we can do is say search restaurant path, but let's include all the classes there from up top. Copy it, paste it, get rid of that one, save it. Now if we do a refresh, search restaurants path, I believe is what it should be. There you go. Now if we click on view all here, it'll show us all the restaurants. And if we go back and click on search here, it'll only give us the American restaurants and so on and so forth. All right. So we've cleaned up our before property section. Now we're calling it a restaurant section. So this all presents correct data. And what I want to do next is to change this information down here, maybe get rid of it and put in here maybe some categories and show some restaurants below it. So that's what we'll do in the next video.